Before they knocked it down, there used to be alleys and little yards all around the back of Paradise Street. Tiny places with high walls, pigeons flapping up as you looked in. The smell of something strange. Black corners, bright sun. And on one of these walls, someone had painted a woman, crudely, with a thick paintbrush, glops of paint dripping off it. Ugly, really. But I couldn't resist that yard.
Go on, hit me. That's all they teach you in the army, isn't it? Kill anyone, did you?
Why don't you take a fucking walk?
Just a profession inquiry. I mean, you ask a jockey win any races? You ask a soldier blow anyone's bullocks off lately? It's a conversation starter. See bodies, did you? Did you?
A few.
Funny things, bodies. Don't you think? Saw a lot of them during the war, lying around. Looked like they was waiting for fresh orders from above.
How long have you been here?
I told you, 3 months.
Do you know a fellow called Quinn Booner?
Bonner.
He's my brother.
Sure, a man's got a brother.
He lived in Paradise Street, number 24.
Knock that down. It's to be hoped he wasn't in it at the time.
A friend of mine, she said to me, "A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle." I liked that. Sensible. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Just then, 3 cars rode by.
Exit Jude.
No, people don't get pregnant. I got pregnant. Me, Georgia.
And I had a career to think about. What's he like?
Who?
The kid.
She had it terminated.
You said you'd never do that.
I wasn't pregnant then.
That's murder, that!
Oh, now you're disappointed? You fancied the idea of coming home to see another little Bonner lying in his cot, combing his mustache? Well, I'm glad I didn't have it. I'm glad it never took a breath. It never had a face worth looking at, because I wouldn't want to be responsible for anything that even half resembled you. You're a pig.
It's a pig's world.
Well, you deserve each other then, don't you? You and the world. I hope you'll be very happy together.
Georgia!
I wish I could hurt you as much as you've hurt me. I wish I was a man for one day, and my God, I swear I'd break you in pieces.
Caroline steps forward. She speaks to the audience.
I had this dream. I was in my mother's kitchen. I was only small. She was cutting open a fish. I'd seen her do it 100 times. Our family was very fond of fish. She took a sharp knife and slit it open. And my father, who was leaning on the sink with a glass of dark beer froth on his mustache, my father laughed. My mother reached into the guts of the fish she'd cut open and pulled out another fish. But this one, dreams are strange, aren't they? This one was bigger, much bigger than the first, wet and shining and alive. It smelled fresh, of the sea, of the deep sea, of the dark sea. My father throws his glass of beer into the sink, and before we can help him, the living fish has leapt out of me mum's hand and eaten him up in our kitchen. I woke up right then. I swear I was smiling.
Caroline exits. Scene 3. Crowd from the street again. It's night. A baleful sodium light bathes a corrugated iron wall, onto which posters have been repeatedly stuck and ripped away. The word Vivat is sprayed on the wall, along with other graffiti. Enter Mulroney carrying a piece of cloth on which is painted a garden scene in the style of Inigo Jones, with naked lovers, flowers, and allegorical figures. He speaks to the sky.
Charlie, it's happening. I found horse droppings streaming in the middle of a dock road. How about that? They're dropping horse shit on us now. And this, I found this. It's a flag or the like, all painted. And the best, Charlie. I heard a noise, snuffling. I looked around. 3 horses standing at a distance. Beautiful. Breath in the air like mist. Is it possible they fell out of the sky? Are the stallions on Mars?
Enter Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, his sword drawn, a dashingly handsome man who, regrettably, knows it. He is followed by 2 cloaked figures. One is Ben Jonson, and the other a cook, Gunther.
What are we waiting for here? I've got to get going right away if I'm going to be back tomorrow. So many pastries and breads to buy and the fish to gut.
Shut up, will you?
You speak the tongue better than I. You tell him.
Weird veen son kush ver dich fernen nusquan. We'll certainly find you a kitchen. Just be patient.
Then Her Majesty's breakfast isn't ready in the morning. It'll be your fault. I hold you responsible.
When did you steal the cloth?
I didn't steal it. I found it in the street. I don't want a piece of tatty cloth if it's yours. I thought it came.
Came
from-
whence?
Well, to tell the truth, I thought it dropped out of the sky. I thought it was a little miracle. And
I wouldn't speak like that in front of Devereux.
him?
God, no, that's Gunther. He's just a fish cook. Devereux's the hero with the sword. And my name's Johnson.
You keep Devereux away from me. I don't trust heroes.
He doesn't much like Irishmen. He's had some unsavory experiences with them. Whereas I think a man's a man, even if he's Irish.
Well, that's very liberal of you.
I've even met 1 or 2 I could like. Almost.
Lucy and Essex are in each other's arms, kissing, and Essex is unbuttoning Lucy.
I thought she'd talk all night.
My little cock robin.
Lucy, I'm burning for you.
Your poem.
Yes, yes.
What did it mean?
I'll explain it later.
It vexed me a little.
No.
Oh, bloom for me, thou flower of life.
Essex kisses her.
And take me into thy sweet garden, where my joy in thee may harden.
Kissing her breast and reaches up under her skirts.
Into love.
Yes.
And as a knife. I'm not sure I like this bit. As a knife. May I serve to claim the pardon blossom, I may harvest thee, wife.
It's beautiful. Brings tears to me eyes.
Oh, do that again. Again.
Lift up your skirts. Let me see your cherry.
Do you love me?
Would I write poetry for you if I didn't love you?
All my life, I've been waiting for one particular train, collecting the timetables, the ticket stubs, the signs of it. And when it comes, where am I? Dead to the world. The visit's over, it must be. I have to join a queue of people who just miss the miracles. The man who had diarrhea and missed the Last Supper. The fellow who was blowing his nose when Lazarus took his first breath. Oh, God. There's visions over a Dogger Bank, Vikings, 40s, lights on the Irish Sea, and all the promise of Jerusalem rolling away to meet the pole. And do they care?
They dream.
Sure, they do that.
Isn't that something?
I don't trust the internal vision. I don't say what the mind sees is less than what the eye sees. I say there's a threshold where one becomes the other, where the fruit of the mind becomes edible, where the waters of imagination become available to wash in. The rest is politics. The rest is sociology. The rest is commerce with disillusion. I want none of it. Listen to yourself, Mulrooney.
The wall opens. A glorious light spills out onto the filthy street. In the rosy heart of the light stands Gloriana herself, Elizabeth I. Behind her stand Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, and Lucy Lovelace, her lady-in-waiting.
We applaud your sentiments.
They're not sentiments, they're accusations.
Mulrooney, I don't think you missed the miracle after all.
What?
Bow your head, you heathen. You stand before Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth of England, Scotland, and Ireland.
Curtsy.
Men make these distinctions, Jude. It's their territorial instincts misplaced. They divide existence as they do land. Life here, death there, and a border between. They guard it with the church, with science. Only poets defy the divide, and even they can be sentimental about it. It's taken us 400 years to realize that if the golden world is to be won and kept, it must be won with ambiguities. There is no certain thing on earth worth knowing. Now men are not subtle enough to grasp this simple idea. They have a fear of ambiguity. They think it's weakness. They think it's senility, a sign of death. They box it up and bury it. They tell us we should be certain or be slaves. Well, they are about to witness revolution, and we would rather it be brought to them out of love for life from us, who like their beauties and admire their wit, that from the earth, despairing of its sons and burning them all away. Don't aspire to be like them.
So you have no doubt.
I've given up doubt for life. There's presences up there, and they see us, and they know us.
I've seen things in the sky.
Everyone has. If you question them closely, but nobody speaks out. We keep it to ourselves for fear of being mocked. Well, I say, to hell with that. You've one life, and you shouldn't live it in fear of mockery. Follow what's under your breastbone. And if they call it faith, the literati or the criterati.
Or the shitterati.
Or the shitterati. If they call it faith and try to kick the legs from under you, spit in their blind eyes and tell them to go suck it.
Through exposing ourselves as artists is when we start discovering, here's my weaknesses, here are my fears, here are my strengths, right? And then now from this, and you take that into a rehearsal, even if that was just like this much of the experience for you, I'll take it.
I didn't like not knowing my role until 10 minutes before it started.
I love the idea of not knowing until the day of, but I think for a lot of us, it would have been nice to have at least enough time to go through it once before we had an audience, just to sort of like Like, I mean, I read the script beforehand, but it's still completely different whenever you are interacting with other people rather than just reading it off the page.
Right.
I understand because my anxiety is, especially because you're like your little Excel. I was like, this is killing me. This is killing me. Like, what am I doing? I don't know which accent I'm throwing out. I can't highlight my script. I got no idea where I'm flying from the seat of my pants. And I finally was like, I am in improv. I am doing an improv with a script. And the beginning, I was in and out of my accent because I was like, this is not, I'm like, I'm Liverpool, I'm Irish, I'm Scottish, I'm British. Here we go. I kind of loved, like, and everyone, like a couple of people, my friends have been listening in and we're here tonight. I told them, I'm like, this is an experiment of the like of which I've never done before. And I love that. I love the rawness that we were finding our characters and our relationships with our voices. And if we even did it once, we would try to be replicating that. Oh, this worked in this practice. Let's see if we can do it again. I liked the mistakes and the flaws and the raw and the gritty. And I liked having to flex my muscle of reading the script, not knowing who I would be, because then I was almost doing like a character 360, right?
Yeah.
Like, not only am I looking at the character from this view, but I'm looking at how every character views that character, constantly moving that center of locus. Right. And it made me interact with each character completely differently.
One of the cool things that I love about the process of rehearsal as well as read through is because everybody does come in completely naked, stripped of anything that they know about the show or anything about their character. And the director starts getting these ideas just from listening to people read and their reaction. And I spent this entire night just going, oh my gosh, if we were doing this live, I could do it like this. I can totally see this person doing this and doing that, and here's how it would be delivered. And that kind of helps the director's job be so much easier because of what you all bring.
I wanted something different. I wanted something that was fresh, something that was raw. I feel like with everything that's been happening, I needed that excitement within me.